Hey guys, welcome to a crash course in Ableton Live and electronic production with myself, Ryan Wilson. Now I'll be taking you through the semester and giving you tips and tricks on how to get going within the software and making your own compositions in no time at all. Given that we're all stuck at home this year, I think it's a great opportunity for some of you that may have never used it or have may never been musically inclined to give it a go and see what happens. I think it's really exciting. So a little bit about myself. I originally am from New Zealand and studied at SAE Institute in Auckland, which is an audio engineering school. I did audio engineering diploma, which was great fun. It took me a year, loved it. I didn't learn Ableton until I left school, which was about 8.5 years ago, and I've been using it ever since, and I can't stop using it because it is amazing. Now, it is, like I said, a digital audio workstation, so it allows you to create compositions in a really intuitive way that allows you to just kind of keep the ideas flowing, and at no point do you have to let the music stop. Whereas conventional kind of softwares, typically you work left to right and you compose a piece of music like you would write a book, write your sentence left to right, whereas Ableton allows you to loop things. It allows you to layer things on top of each other in a way that no other software has before, which is amazing. So for those of you that have not got it or have never used it, it's quite easy. You just need to jump onto Google or whatever software you use to search and search Ableton. It'll be the first thing that comes up and open that website and you'll get to here. Now, there are 3 kinds of Ableton, and for the sake of this course, we're going to assume you're using the live version for free, which is up here. It is a trial version which is valid for 90 days, and then after that you will need to authenticate it, which involves purchasing one of these 3 versions here. Now, for the sake of this course, if you are looking at investing in this software and you do want to commit and use it going forward, I do recommend getting the intro or the standard version. The intro will be more than sufficient for the sake of this course, and I'll just be using the basic stock plugins and stock instruments that Ableton comes with when you download the free trial or the intro version. I am, for the record, using the suite version, so if there are a few features on my screen that yours does not, that is probably because I'm using the suite and you'll be using a different version. But for those of you out there that may be using the suite, awesome. Now, a little bit about how this course is going to go. I'm going to be creating one of these videos each week for you. I'm going to be giving you a small task to take home throughout the week and try. And then at the end of each week, we'll be doing a Zoom meeting of which you can ask me any questions and share the music that you've been writing. I can give you feedback, I can help you out, and the great thing about Ableton is you can send sessions to each other pretty fluidly, assuming you could save it. So a little bit about Ableton. It's been around for over 10 years and they've been kind of improving it to where it is today. Now, you don't need anything other than your laptop to get started, although there is a myriad of different extras and hardware, instruments and stuff that you can add on. But for the sake of this course, all you'll really need is your laptop speakers or a pair of headphones, which you can plug in rather easily. For those of you that would like to progress a little more, you can get rather simple studio monitors. Now, studio monitors are essentially speakers, pardon my spelling. They look something similar to this. Now, these are not essential for the sake of this course, but they certainly give you a very accurate kind of depiction of what the sound coming out of the software is in what's called a very flat frequency response, which means the bass frequencies, the high frequencies, the mid frequencies, they're all coming out at the same volume. So once you're mixing your songs and getting them sounding the way you want, you'll know exactly how they're going to sound on other speakers and whatnot. Also, other things you can get is keyboards, MIDI keyboards, which look something like this. Now, these control the software. This would send information to Ableton to play the notes that correspond to the keyboard. And again, this is not essential for writing music in Ableton. This is an add-on, so you desire it. Now, I will be using this throughout the course, simply to play notes into the software. You can also use your computer keyboard, or you can just manually enter things in. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up Ableton, assuming that you've gone and downloaded it, installed it into your computer, and chosen whether or not that you're going to buy the intro or the basic or the suite version. So in Ableton we have this, we have channels, this is called session view. Now there are two views to note within Ableton: session view and arrangement view. Now they both have different benefits for depending on what you need to use it for, and they correspond with each other. So as you record from one into the other, everything will be there. So for the sake of this course, I'll be using predominantly the session view, and then I will be going in future episodes into the arrangement view to start arranging compositions and writing structures of music. But for the very start, we're just going to go into session view. So open up the session view so you look like this, and there's this arrow which will open up the menu. Now the menu on the left has everything you'll need to get going. You've got sounds, which are all the different instruments and sounds that you can use. You've got strings, different pads, kind of piano and key sounds, woodwinds, heaps of different instruments. You've got drums on the left. Now these are called drum racks. Drum racks are a collection of instruments and sounds that Ableton's gone and put together for you. You can load your own in a drum rack rather easily. This is a drum rack here down the bottom. And as you drag and drop different ones into these channels, you'll see that it has a collection of lots of different sounds to choose from, which is amazing. So for the sake of the first week and my first little task for you guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a very simple drum beat within Ableton using what's there. So I'm going to get straight into it so we can start writing some music, because I know that's what we're all here for. So, like I said, Ableton makes it very easy for you. You can just drag and drop things from the left into the session view as you so desire. Now to note, there are two different kinds of channels that you can use. You have a MIDI channel and you have an audio channel. Now they have different uses. Obviously audio channels are specifically for audio signals, recorded audio that you may have recorded in from an external instrument or a vocalist or whatever it may be. Now that is recorded into here. And then MIDI is a kind of language essentially that computers and different instruments use to communicate and talk with each other. It's a rather old technology that hasn't really evolved or changed since it was created, because it is so reliable, which is amazing. Now for any instrument that you may use from Ableton that it comes with, they will be a MIDI instrument. And these drum racks here drag straight into a MIDI channel, as easy as that. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly delete these three channels because we don't need them for now. So you just highlight the channel and hit delete and it will get rid of them. To make a new channel, should you need it, you go into create, insert audio track, create or insert MIDI track. Or within Ableton as well, there are lots of shortcuts that you can use your keyboard. So for that, you can also go Command new channel for you, or Shift Command T. Let's bugger off. So Command T for a new channel, Shift Command T for a new MIDI channel. All right, so here we have different loops and clips within the channel. So if you'll notice, if I hit the play button, it will start looping that one clip. I mentioned this is really good for music that lends itself to looping, such as hip-hop, house music, techno, even pop music nowadays, very repetitive kind of sounds. So it makes sense that we use the session view. Now, making a drum beat is as simple as right-clicking down the bottom here, and you'll get this menu that pops up. A lot of this is probably not relevant right now, but we'll go right down to draw mode and we'll hit that. Now that'll bring up a little pencil, and that pencil means that we can hit any of these squares here. Oh wow. And then yeah, the sound that corresponds with that square will sound. So for house music, for my example, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 kick drums down the bottom, and you'll notice that that kick drum plays in time as it goes across it. You can make these loops longer if you like. So if you go to the top right here, you'll notice you can drag these out. So just drag it out as such, and that will extend the loop as long as you need. Now you can go for 2 bars, 4 bars, 16 bars, 128 bars if you want, as many as you like. So I'm just going to go and put some more kicks in there, and we're going to play that back, and it should sound like a beat, nearly. Awesome. So you can just play around and you put in any you like. I'm going to go and go like this. Hopefully this sounds good. Alright, that's starting to sound alright. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Cool. So you can add a couple more things in there. Awesome. So if you go up here and you hit that arrow there, it will open up all of these. Now these are the different instruments, and you'll notice there's what's called a fader, which slides up and down, which corresponds to the volume of each individual instrument. So if I pull this fader down, you'll hear the kick drum cuts out. When I put it back up, kick drum comes back in. So you are able to go ahead and you can adjust the different sounds for the different instruments as you so desire. So if that hi-hat sounds a little harsh, you can turn it right there until you get a level that you're happy with overall that sounds even and good to your ears. Now that sounds pretty good to me. So if you were to want to make a slower drum beat or a faster drum beat, you'll need to change the tempo, and that is really easy in Ableton. You just go up to the top here and you can write in any tempo you like. So if I wanted to slow that down to 100 beats per minute, I can just go ahead and put 100 in, play it back, and it's a lot slower. And that goes up infinitely and down the other way, which sounds very silly. So for hip hop, 90 BPM, great tempo. For house music, anywhere between 100 and 120. Anything above that, you're kind of entering techno territory. Now I talk about these 3 genres a lot because they're the ones that I've kind of delved into, but like I said, you can use Ableton to write any kind of music that you like. So I want you to go ahead and create a drum beat using any of these drum kits that you like on the left. And I'll show you one more example quickly. I can just go ahead and drag that in there again. And I will stop using either one of these squares. That will stop the loop. And I'm going to go ahead and double click and write a new loop within here. So I've got kick. Why have I not got any sound? One moment, people. Why is that? There we go. Awesome. So it's kind of more of a hip hop tip. And another great thing that you can do with an Ableton is if you simply copy and paste this clip here. So Command C, Command V, that copies that clip down here. Awesome. Now I'm going to add a little bit of variation on this one. So I'm going to add a few more little notes and hits on this beat so it sounds slightly different from the first. Now I'm literally just hitting these at random until I get it sounding the way that I want it. Easy as that. So like I said, my task for you this week is to go ahead give Ableton a go and try and write me 2 different drum beats in 2 different channels. Now, you can play these drum beats at the same time if you like, but it sounds a little muddy. So assuming that you're just using the free version and you can't save your progress, if you just drag these down and then deselect them, it will only play what corresponds there. And one thing to note is as you activate or deactivate a clip, it will always play the loop till the end before it stops or before it starts the next loop. Now you can change that, but for the sake of this, you don't need to. All right, guys, well, hopefully we've got you inspired to go ahead and start creating some drum beats within Ableton. Again, we will be having a Zoom meeting shortly, so any questions that you may have, you write them down and you can send them straight to me when we go online. I'll be able to give you feedback, answer any questions, I'll be able to give you some more advanced tips and tricks on the Zoom. Great. Looking forward to doing the next few weeks with you guys. Until next time.